Another question I get asked a lot is what happens if you get seriously ill on board, or even what happens if you die? Valid questions, because cruise ships are out in the middle of the ocean. Fair enough. So if you get sick, there is actually a full service medical facility on board with actual doctors and nurses and like people who know what they're doing who can take care of you. So that's amazing. They have medications. They've got a whole pharmacy on board. So anything you need, as long as it's not major, then you're good to go. Now, if something major does happen, there's a couple of different things that can happen. So if you're close enough to a port, they can head to that port earlier and make sure you get seen there. In some cases, it'll be a couple days before you're supposed to be in port. Last week, I was on the Enchanted Princess, and we had somebody who was very ill who needed to be seen pretty quickly. So we actually met up with another cruise ship who was heading right back to Florida that same night. Met up with that Carnival ship, dropped the person off, like a little boat came and picked up the person, took them over to the Carnival ship, and then they went off to Florida to get medical attention. If it's really severe and you can't, say you're in the middle of the Pacific on your way to Hawaii or something, and there's no way that you can get to a hospital that the ship can sail to one or sail to a port where they have medical attention, they will literally have a helicopter either land on the ship if there's a helipad, or they will dangle like a rope thing down and a person and pick up the sick person, drag them up into the helicopter and take them ashore. So they have a few different things they can do that way. I also get asked, do people die on board and what happens if they die on board? The answer is yes. I'll get more into that later because that's a whole thing. Sometimes people actually come onto cruise ships to die on purpose. That's a whole different article though, or a whole different, what article am I talking about? A whole different video, words. But if you die on board, there is a morgue. There is a morgue on board, but it doesn't fit. I don't know how much each ship fits. It's like different every ship, but I would say, and my guess is like 1 or 2 people. I don't know. I'm making that up. But there is always the rumor, the ongoing rumor is, you'll hear this from everybody, but if they start serving ice cream, like extra ice cream, especially for a crew, then that means somebody died and they had to use the ice cream cooler. That's a rumor. I've asked so many people if that's actually true and they just giggle at me. So if you actually know the answer to that and you work on ships in the medical field, like let me know in the comments because I want to know if that's true, but it makes sense. I did hear a guy, actually he didn't work for the cruise line that I work for, but I saw him at one of the bars that all the crew from all the ships go to in Alaska, and we were drinking, and he did say that one time there was not room in the morgue, but they had one room in the medical center that they could keep really, really, really cold, like frigid cold, and they only had to like get to a port the following day, so they just put the person into a very cold hospital room. Anyway, that's all I know about the morgue. Let me know if you know any more about it or about the ice cream thing. Is that real? Because I'm going to keep telling that rumor until I find out if it's actually true or not. Anyway, let me know if you have any other questions. Drop them in the comments.